So far along our journey, we've been using pseudocode to define our programs. To create a program with code, we need a real programming language. In going from pseudocode to code, the code will differ depending on the programming language you use. Here, the same pseudocode is implemented in two different programming languages. The top is JavaScript, the bottom is Python. There are dozens of programming languages. Some are old, some are academic, or have a narrow niche, while others are more mainstream. Python's simple syntax makes it a good choice as a first introductory programming language for many schools and universities. The C family of programming languages have been around since the early 1970s. C's size and scope makes it great for building operating systems or code for devices. C++ was an updated version of C introduced in the 1980s to include more modern features. And C# is the newest member of the family, introduced in 2000 with Microsoft's .NET. It's a great choice for doing full-stack development. Java was released in 1995 and is often used on back-end servers. JavaScript, which despite its name is not directly related to Java, is a scripting language used to build web applications. We covered JavaScript in the Gentle Introduction to JavaScript for Beginners course. If you're doing web development, JavaScript provides logic and interactivity for web pages. But what about HTML and CSS? Why aren't they on our list of common programming languages? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, so it's a markup language rather than a programming language. It provides structure for our web pages and gives meaning to our page content. CSS, or Cascading Style Sheets, is a styling language. It defines the styles for a web page, like color and font, and improves page layout. You'll need all three to create great web applications, but only JavaScript is really a programming language. Each programming language has its own rules and structure, often referred to as syntax. But the languages also have many things in common. Most programming languages have a defined set of keywords, such as function, def, if, and return. To communicate clearly with the computer, you must use that set of keywords. Though unlike a spoken language such as French or Japanese, most computer languages have less than 100 keywords. Casing is often important. In many computer languages, a variable named number of pets with a lowercase n is not the same as a variable named number of pets with an uppercase n, and a keyword such as if may show as an error if is capitalized. Just like a spoken language, punctuation is also significant in programming languages. When reading, we know that a period indicates the end of a sentence. In some, but not all, programming languages, we use a semicolon to indicate the end of an instruction. This JavaScript example uses semicolons. The Python code does not. Some languages, such as JavaScript, use curly braces to define code blocks, while others, such as Python, use indentation. How do you select which programming language to learn and use? Oftentimes, that decision is made for you. When in school, you'll use what's taught. If you are working on a team, you'll need to use the language that the team has selected. Or if you're working in a specific environment, you may be limited in your choices. For example, if building a .NET application, you may want to use C#. When building a web application, you'll use JavaScript. If you aren't constrained and looking for a good general all-purpose first language, Python is a good first choice. And once you've mastered one language, it's easier to learn another. Many software developers are knowledgeable in multiple programming languages. Let's stop here for a moment. Do you know a programming language? How did you decide to pick that one? Based on your goals, what language would you learn next? If you are new to programming, which language would you jump into first? And before selecting a language to learn, consider checking out the local job listings to see what languages are needed in your area. So, use a programming language to convert pseudocode into real code. Each language has a specific syntax and structure, but many have similar keywords, casing rules, and punctuation. Next, let's look at the software development lifecycle.